Hey everyone, this afternoon I'm going to be showing you how to tie my favorite trout fishing rig. And I do a lot of trout fishing in the stream, and so what I like to use is a rig that really makes the worm look lifelike when it's floating down through the water. Really has increased my the number of fish that I catch, and it's just a great rig. It's easy to tie, and I'm just going to show you real quick how to do it. So I use very light tackle, light line, 4-pound test. So I want to use a 4-pound leader to tie this line, and this is what I use. It's a brown colored leader, and this is what I use to tie my rigs. I usually use a piece that's probably about, I don't know, about a foot long, maybe a little bit longer. So I'll get a piece of that ready. And I also like to use very small hooks. Sometimes I'll use a 16, which is pretty small. I believe these are 14s. So very small hook, very light line, and even my split shot are small split shot. What I do to make this rig is I'll take my first hook and I'll feed the leader down through the eye of the hook, and then I'll pinch it against the hook with my hand. Now with my other hand, I'll take the line and I'll wrap it around the hook about 6 or 7 times. And then I take the other end of the line and I feed it down through the eye of the hook and pull it tight. And there's your first hook attached to the line. Now you want to trim that extra off of there. I use fingernail clippers, or I'll just bite it off if I'm out in the stream, but let me get rid of that for you. So there's the first hook attached to the line. Now there's 2 hooks in this rig. So I'll take the end of my line without the hook, and I'll take another size 16 hook, and I will feed the hook down the line, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to the first hook that I tied. And since I'm using red worms mostly, I like to keep them at a distance where is about the size of a red worm. If I was using night crawlers, maybe I might pull the hooks apart further, but red worms tend to be small, so I usually leave the hooks about 1 inch apart, something like this. Now I take the line and I'll do the same thing I did with the first one. I'll wrap the line around the hook about 6 or 7 times until it looks like this. Pinch that so it doesn't go anywhere, and then I take the other end of the line and I push it down through the eye of the hook like this and pull it tight. Now that's what the rig looks like. You've got 2 hooks on this piece of leader. Now what I like to do is take the head of the worm and put it on this top hook and stick this second hook somewhere down in the body of the worm. So now when you throw this into the water, the worm's not all like coiled up on a single hook. It looks like the worm literally just fell into the water and it's floating down through, but there's 2 hooks in it. So it's very lifelike. The fish, just absolutely hit this thing more than any rig I've ever used, and you've got 2 hooks in the rig, so it's double your chances of landing that fish. So what I do now is I get my hooks tied on here. I go to the other end of the line and I tie a loop in the line. And how you do that is I just take the line like this and I make a loop in it. Then I take this loop and I kind of just like bend it and turn it so that it forms another loop. It's like a double loop there. And there's the end of my original loop. And I take that end of my original loop and I stick it up through that first loop. Like this. And then I pull it tight. So now I've got this loop in the end of my line. And I get rid of that extra line there. Now what I do with this is I attach it to my regular fishing line, and what I have here is a regular barrel swivel attached to my 4-pound test, and this is how I attach then the rig to my line. I take the loop that I just tied and I put it up through the one end of the barrel swivel, like so, and then I take the hooks and I drop them down through the loop like that, and then I pull it tight. So now you've got your leader and the loop you just tied attached to your swivel, and then you've got your 2 hooks on the end of your leader here. Now this rig is it's easy to tie. You can sit while you're watching television, you can tie a bunch of them and have them out on the stream with you when you need them. This was a rig that was shown to me by an old friend of mine named Chuck Little, who spent his life on the river, and he really perfected this rig, and that dude caught a lot of fish, and I do too when I use it. So I hope you guys have good luck when you're out fishing. Use this rig, and you'll really catch more fish. Good luck.